Today we're talking about one of everybody's favorite topics, food, especially Restaurant Week. Join us now, Kathleen Kelly, Tourism Development Specialist with the Division of Tourism here with the City of Suffolk, to talk. We're leading off. We've got quite a few topics to cover, but talking about Restaurant Week. And thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Now, when we talk about Restaurant Week, I think we know how it's been done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, things are a little different now because of COVID, but explain to me sort of how Restaurant Week is coming to happen this year.
Well, we, about a year ago, decided that we were going to just do Restaurant Week about once a year. We just felt like it was more bang for our buck. You know, kind of didn't want to dilute the brand, if you will. But then COVID happened, and restaurants need all the help they can get right now. Some are doing really, really well, and then some other ones are on the struggling side. So we talked to some of the restaurants back in August, and we said, would you want us to go back to our original layout of doing the fall encore? Mm-hmm. And majority of them said yes, they would really like to do that. So that's kind of where we are right now. We're back to twice a year, at least for the foreseeable future, to just try and get some bodies into the restaurants. And we have some really great restaurants here in Suffolk. And you don't have to just do the indoor dining.
Sure.
Some people are very not wanting to do that,
mm-hmm.
and we completely understand that. So we asked the restaurants to just follow our basic pricing structure, which would be the deluxe, the premier, or the ultimate level. But we also gave them the option of doing family meals. So for those of you who maybe don't want to do the indoor dining or outdoor dining as it may be, they can go and pick up a family meal. So we have a couple of restaurants that are offering that option as well. So we're hoping that it brings some people out.
Got it. And of course, the goal is to get local people, or well, even people from outside Suffolk,
Sure.
preferably,
Yeah.
eating at local restaurants
mm-hmm.
and helping them
mm-hmm.
as well as helping the community through that whole process. Mm-hmm. When is Restaurant Week? When is it being designated this fall?
We're running it November 7th through the 14th.
Okay.
And I think, as of right now, we do not have any restaurants that are offering the breakfast option, which we've started to offer in the last couple of years. So it's just lunch and dinner at those three levels that I mentioned, or the family meal.
Right.
And we have everything on our website, that everybody can kind of check out. Menus are being put up as we speak. So by the time the 7th rolls around, all the information will be out there, including, current operating hours, if there are any restrictions, if anybody has any outdoor seating, all of the information you might need in order to dine safely.
Right. And when we talk about Restaurant Week, and you mentioned the tiers and everything, and people
mm-hmm.
might think, well, that sounds very confusing. And what we're really talking about is price fixed points.
Yes.
To get certain options.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, usually you have a variety of choices within each option,
mm-hmm.
Financially speaking, of course. So, if it's $15 or $20, you're paying that, and typically you're getting, correct me if I'm wrong, an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert.
Yes.
Drinks are outside of that.
Yeah, tax and gratuity and drinks are outside of that pricing structure. I think we have one restaurant that decided not to offer a dessert, but they ganged up on the entree level, so you're getting a lot of food for the amount of money that you're paying.
Okay.
And as you said, it's each restaurant has chosen the level that they'll be at. I think majority of them are at the premier level. We do have a couple of them that are at the ultimate level. And again, that's, let me see if I get this right. Premier level is $15 for lunch and $30 for dinner. Right. And the ultimate level is $20 for lunch and $40 for dinner. So some of these high-end restaurants, this is a great time to check them out,
Sure.
get some phenomenal food at rock bottom prices.
Right.
So that's kind of how we look at it.
And of course, most of these restaurants use Restaurant Week as an opportunity to try out new things mm-hmm. or kind of connect fan favorites there, because again, mm-hmm. the object is not just to get you to come in once, is to get you to come in beyond Restaurant
multiple
Week.
times. And we do have some people who have let us know that they wait to see what the menus are, and they kind of plan their week out based on that, and they hit every single restaurant, or as many as they can, during that promotion. We are lucky enough to have 9 restaurants participating, which I'm very pleased about, given everything going on. I mean, the restaurants really have their hands full right now just keeping their doors open. So we were really pleased with the amount of people that signed up for this.
Good.
So again, it starts on the 7th and runs for a good 8 days, and you really just can't beat the price and what you get for it.
And finding out what each restaurant is offering,
mm-hmm.
price points and everything, again, really kind of two different ways. A, you can go to the restaurant, and they should have a separate Restaurant Week menu so that you can look under there and you know what you'd be paying, and then you can see the different options within each category there.
Absolutely.
Or, of course, as you have noted, there's a website that people can go to look at the menus, look at all the structure and everything, and that's a good resource if you're thinking, well, look, I'm not sure who's participating. You can find out that.
Right.
What they're offering, you can find that out. So when you walk in, you know a little bit more about how they're structured it. And of course, you also have the backup of having the menu there, but that website that people can go to.
We actually have changed things around a little bit. We
Okay.
do have a page still on our main tourism site. It's under Restaurant Week, under the dining area. But what we decided was to kind of do a supplementary site that exists all on its own, and it has all of the information that we have about every single eatery in Suffolk. And that is dininginsuffolkva.com. Okay. It's brand new. We're still actually putting some content on there. Majority of it is already up.
Right.
But we do have a page dedicated to Restaurant Week that has all of the restaurants that are participating that are listed. They have their operating hours, they have their menus. But I'm really excited about this website because it is a great resource for everybody moving forward. If you want to dine anywhere in Suffolk, this is your one-stop shop. So you can check to see what kind of food we have it.
Right.
We have it listed that way. We also have national favorites listed and links to all of our fast food joints too. So we have a little bit of everything. Right. There's going to be a blog option where we can put up news, press. We're very excited about it. It's much more streamlined, and it's just a very easy spot to get to in order to find what you're looking for.
But as far as if you're looking specifically on that site for Restaurant Week options, do you have to go kind of search through, or is there a kind of a category or a way that's kind of grouped so that people could easily find those restaurants?
Once you go to that website, there is a separate page called Restaurant Week that is right in the in the navigation menu. So
perfect.
we
All right.
have and we tried to streamline it as much as possible.
Right.
We do have links to our Facebook page from there, so that you can stay up to date with it that way. But I'm very, very excited about this website.
Good.
I think it's going to be hopefully a good tool for the restaurants to use.
Right.
Obviously, we'll keep our tourism section of dining, the calendar updated.
Right.
But this is a really good way for people to find exactly what it is that they're looking.
Okay. Now, as far as with the website in particular, again, the focus and the reason for doing all of this, Restaurant Week and the extra website, is one of the roles that the Division of Tourism has, obviously, is to promote tourism in Suffolk. Right. Part of that, restaurants come with that. What is y'all's philosophy when it comes to providing assistance to restaurants to help get the word out? Again, I know certainly a new restaurant comes in town, you want to make sure y'all connect with them, you get them added, very proactive in that approach.
Absolutely.
But as far as just helping kind of set the scene here in the city of Suffolk with regard to where restaurants are, how it's structured and everything, talk a little bit about y'all's philosophy when it comes to that.
The tourism's philosophy is we want to help restaurants, shopping, the hotels, anything that's going to bring somebody into the city in order to visit, whether you're a local resident or you're outside of the area. We want to make that experience as fun and simple as possible. Right. Simple in the sense that you don't have to go around 9 different directions to find what you're looking for. So what we do is when a new restaurant or a new shop comes in, we try to touch base with them, see how things are going. Do they need assistance with website building? Is there, can we help with flyers? We do have 2 graphic designers in our tourism divisions that are able to help with that. Right. So we try to help wherever possible, and then we kind of hands off, let them do what they need to do, and yet still continue with that assistance whenever it's needed. So our philosophy is just to kind of help everybody get off the ground and make it a success. Right. And we continue that throughout the lifespan of that establishment.
Right. And I think, as you said, you want your website and what y'all do to be a resource for people that are looking for what they can do when they come to Suffolk. Restaurants being a very key part of that. And I think we've seen our restaurant scene develop and grow, especially in recent years. Yes. Both in the downtown sector, northern stuff, and all across with regard to unique places people can find that have even found some unique places to pop up. I mean, some on the water, some here, some there. So again, a nice mix of things of whatever you're looking for. And it's great to see that development and that growth kind of continue. Well, kind of deviating a little bit from restaurants, but still thinking of food, but also with a drink element.
Yeah.
There's a unique event that Division of Tourism is kind of partnering with a local establishment.
Yes.
A tea
Yes.
is coming up, and it has a historical flavor to it with
It
two
does.
characters that'll be part of it, correct?
Yes, we on the 14th of November over at the Stillwater Tea House, which is off of Prentice Street, across from the train station. We are partnering with the Art League and Stillwater to bring you a great event. There are going to be two different settings, 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. And what it is basically a conversation between Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony. We've got historical performance artists who are coming to do a performance, but it's the way it's been described to me is more of a conversation with the people who attend.
Got it.
And while you're watching them have this conversation and participating, you get a full tea, which if you have not had tea over at the Stillwater House,
In that category, so tell me about it. Yeah.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Amy Ford runs the Stillwater Tea House, and she has done a phenomenal job setting things up. She just recently took over from previous owners. And I can't tell you how much fun I had at one of the tastings that I went to in September. She knows her tea, which, you know, some people may not be a tea fan, but let me tell you how fun it is.
Right.
It is just the most wonderful afternoon. She gives you great food. There's usually a couple of savories and a couple of sweets, and then maybe 3 or 4 teas that you can kind of taste. And I've become kind of a tea fan since I've been going to these. So for this event on the 14th, while Nathan Nathan is the one that's going to be playing Frederick Douglass. Yes, locally well known.
Yes.
And I believe her name is Leanne Rose is going to be playing Susan B. Anthony.
Okay,
and while they're doing their performance, as I said, you can have the tea.
Right.
However, if you do not want to have the tea, you can also do what we're calling lawn seating, which is $5 for the lawn seating, and then add another $10 in for a box lunch.
Got it.
So for those that don't really want to do the tea,
Right.
that's fine. You don't have to.
Sure.
But if you want to see this great performance, you know, we've got several options for you, and all of that is listed on the Stillwater Tea House website and also our website.
Good, very good.
So we're very excited about it. A lot of people don't realize that Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony were contemporaries.
Right.
And they often met for tea to talk about.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
Did these two actually, in
is there
real
a
life,
reason?
did they
Yeah.
really get together?
They
And it sounds
did.
like they did, from the sense of interacting, and certainly during some times where there was a lot of stuff changing in that period, that
Yes.
historical period.
Yes.
So what you're saying is, it's not only the two of them interacting, but the audience, I presume, has the opportunity to ask questions
Absolutely.
and kind of interact with them.
Absolutely.
And I think when you deal with, and I'm not sure if the proper term is historical reenactment, if that's the term, or they're representing the individuals that they do. Obviously, they're very well versed
Yes.
in their history and their thoughts on certain things to be able to incorporate into there. And I guess it would also be kind of interesting, depending on how the questions go, to work in contemporary times with that, from that perspective, to draw that out, because it really kind of brings it home and really provides a nice fresh approach to things.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. Nathan, I don't know if you've ever met Nathan, but he is so dynamic.
Yes.
And he really brings a lot of knowledge to what he does.
Right.
He's a phenomenal poet, but he's also just a really interesting man. And knowing that he has this knowledge of Frederick Douglass, I think he's considered a historian in this sense, because he's done so many performances. I think I thought I read that he's done up to 300 performances. So he really knows Frederick.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what kind of what the performance looks like,
Sure.
and as you said, what the contemporary feel is with that. So you know, I mean, it's the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment being signed, for women's right to vote, which obviously Susan B. Anthony was a huge proponent. So it's interesting to see, you know, kind of where they're going to take it at this point. If there is a contemporary,
Sure.
I would assume there is,
Right.
but I've never seen it, so I'm kind of excited about
Got
it.
it.
So,
Got it. And again, the date?
Of November 14th,
Okay.
11 a.m. and also 3 p.m. You can choose one of those two seatings. It's $30 for the full tea. $5 for the lawn seating, and then an additional $10 if you want to upgrade your $5 seating to with a box lunch.
Right.
And all of that information is on all of our websites.
And I would assume you want pre-reservations for this,
Yes.
because again, it's a limited amount of seating and
It is,
everything.
yes.
So that all can be done through the website that you're
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
believe the last I heard was that there were 30 full tea service seats, and I believe 20 lawn seats. I may have that backwards, but they'll tell you when you call the website, or when you call the tea house. So.
Well, speaking of events, another event that I think will definitely be a fan favorite, and I think for people that are definitely looking to get out of the house and do something, even in these COVID times that we're talking about, Frozen 2,
Yes.
coming to the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts. Again, a partnership between the Division of Tourism and the Cultural Arts Center to bring this performance here. So talk about what's going to happen there.
Okay.
And again, with that one as well, I want to say up front, you do need to sign up ahead of time and
do,
register.
yeah.
So let's talk about what kind of goes on there.
We kind of got our feet wet with getting back into cinema showings. This fall, we did a series called Friday Night Frights, some scary movies on Friday nights in October. Very well attended. Everybody was really excited to get out, but get out safely.
Right.
So we worked with the Suffolk Center to find a way to do something fun for the kids in December, based on the fact that the holiday parade is not happening.
Right.
So what we're doing is our annual movie, but we're limiting it to 100 seats.
Okay.
In a theater that seats 547, there is definitely room to social distance.
Right.
And how they did it with the Friday Night Frights is that they have certain rows blocked off. They ask everybody to wear masks. And as you mentioned, you do have to get a ticket so that we know who's coming. We don't have last minute walk-ins, so we say, oh, I'm sorry, we can't accommodate you, that kind of a thing. And it's only $1. So in this case, it's a great afternoon for kids that, I don't have children, but Frozen, they're nuts about it. So this is the sequel to the highest grossing animated film of all time. And it's just a fun afternoon, a couple of hours for kids to just, sit and have a good time with mom and dad. And we've got a few little giveaways that we can give them when they're there. And take some pictures with some cutouts.
I was going to ask, yeah.
Yeah, we unfortunately couldn't hire our characters like we
Right.
normally do,
Right.
Based on the social distancing issue.
Sure.
But we did get some Frozen cutouts that kids can go and pose with, and
Nice.
we've got crowns for the little girls. So, it's going to be a fun afternoon, and again, for $1, you can't beat that.
Right.
And it's safe. So that's our main focus right now. So
Now, with what you noted with the Friday Night Frights series in October that you're carrying over here, where people do social distance, you can still sit as a group.
you can.
So when you make your reservation, I assume you note that we have 5 people or 6
Right.
people in the group, if it's a couple, if it's a family, or perhaps other people
Right.
coming together. So you can stay together, and then that helps them arrange the theater
Yes.
so that everybody can kind of keep their.
That's
proper-
a huge reason as to why we do the pre-ticket sales, is so that we know exactly how many we've got coming.
Correct.
Do they need to block off more seats?
Right.
Do they need to, do we need to have a full row for an entire family?
Sure.
That kind of a thing. And it worked really well for the Friday Night Frights. We were pleasantly surprised with how popular that was. So we're thinking that probably Frozen 2 will be about the same, probably more popular because kids love it
Yeah.
so much. But again, it's a good, safe way for kids to get out and really enjoy the afternoon.
Got
So.
it. And the date on that one more time?
December 12th,
December 12th.
Saturday, December 12th at 2 p.m. over at the Suffolk Center.
And it's one showing, though.
One showing,
Okay.
and all tickets can be bought through the SuffolkCenter.org website.
Perfect.
And they've got a link right there where you can pay for your ticket right there.
Very good. Well, we've talked about Restaurant Week, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
recap that again at the end, just in case anybody had missed that part of it. Certainly the new restaurant website that is out and running, the T,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and Frozen 2.
Yep.
Now, in addition to all of that, the Division of Tourism is also continuing with some of your tours.
We are.
So talk about kind of how that's going and what people can still participate in with that.
Okay. Well, we definitely have seen a drop in tour activity, and for good reason.
Right.
I mean, the world has gone topsy-turvy. So what Kevin Sari, our visitor center supervisor and handles all of our tours, had decided was to do a few tours, but make them spread out so that you're not one right on top of the other. We've been fairly successful through the fall, where we had a couple each month. And in November, I believe we have 3. I want to say we have 1 Legends of Main Street, our Ghost Walk, which is super popular. And it's just a fun evening to be out among the spookiness
Right,
of
right.
downtown Suffolk. We've also got our popular Hometown Heroes tour of Cedar Hill Cemetery. And I believe the kayak excursion in November is going to be with Lone Star Lakes. So it's a good way to kind of get out there, not very expensive. I think the most expensive one is $10 for the Legends of Main Street. It's a great way to kind of get out, see what Suffolk has to offer. As of right now, I don't believe we're offering anything for December, but November does have
Okay.
those three
Very good.
has the three tours.
And they can visit your website,
They
kind of see
can.
what's being
Yep.
offered, see how they can get registered. Because again, you want to make sure you
Yes.
have the proper amount of people in the group and everything like that with that.
Right.
So again, I know we keep referencing the Division of Tourism's website.
Right.
It's a great resource if you're looking for kind of what's happening as far as event-wise and things like that. We mentioned the restaurants and really what the Division of Tourism does to help promote the city of Suffolk and what's going on here. Again, a great tool for people to
Yes.
utilize whether you're in Suffolk or not. And if you want to share it with other people, they'd be happy that you do that. So it's
Yeah.
always a good thing to do. But again, real quick, off the top, we have a couple minutes left in today's program, but we talked about Restaurant Week.
Right.
So let's talk again about the dates,
Okay.
how people can participate,
Okay.
and really what's happening with Restaurant Week itself.
Okay, Restaurant Week is going to be on it starts November 7th, runs through the 14th. Each restaurant is different in what operating hours they have. We do have all of that information on our new website, on the new supplementary website, dininginsuffolkva.com.
Right.
It is also on our main tourism site too, so we have it everywhere.
Right,
And it's
right,
also
right.
going to be on Facebook, so
Got it,
you
got
will
it.
be seeing stuff for
Okay.
Restaurant Week.
Yes.
But each restaurant has chosen a dining level to be at, which is either deluxe, premier, or ultimate.
Okay.
And they have offered some 2 to 3 courses in each of those levels. And it's a good way to kind of get out there, check out, see what restaurants are offering at this point. If you've been wanting to try one of the high-end restaurants, now is a great time.
Sure.
It's just a really good way to support our restaurants who really need our help right
Yes.
now. So
Yes.
that's why we're doing this fall encore.
Good. Great. We're looking forward to it. Restaurant Week, again, it's happening. Yes, again, happening, yes, November 2020. So a great way to participate and find out a little bit about some restaurants maybe you haven't had a chance to go to or visit new places you've been before. You want to go back again? Perfectly fine.
Right.
You can check out the website as far as that we mentioned. We'll have that URL. We probably had it up several times throughout the show, but reiterate that one more time for people to go to find out what's happening with Restaurant Week in particular. But again, another great way to find out just what restaurants are here in the city of Suffolk if you're looking to kind of lay it out and figure out, you're looking for something to do special or just sort of a quick bite. Plenty of opportunities out there for you to take part in that. So Kathleen, thank you for your time.
Thank you so
And
much.
thanks to you and everybody at the Division of Tourism for all the work you do to promote Suffolk and
Thank you.
keep things moving.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. That would do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.